Good evening and welcome to another stream with Luke on Dune Awakening. I've just been out, which is why I'm a bit late, trying to get some more stuff to make Delirium. So I've been out in the radiation zone, hence why I couldn't just quickly start the stream. And then when I did go to start the stream, I had to update the streaming software because YouTube wouldn't authenticate, which I guessed was down to an update that it wanted to do. So Google have probably Google, who are the custodians of YouTube, essentially must have changed authentication or done something around that, because it wouldn't actually connect until I did the update, and I did the update and it connected. So I think for a few reasons, but eventually we are here. I've had to come back to get the stuff so that we can make some Delirium, because we need to repair our armor, and some of our armor we can't make. Like these things we can't make, unless, actually I haven't checked, but I don't think I have the blueprints for them. And the thing is with Dune, when it comes to repairing stuff, you generally have to have the skill to repair it. In other words, you have to know the actual skill for that particular item. And we actually acquired this in these boots in a dungeon, and got them apart as a full suit. I kept the boots just because they were better than the boots I had. But so I can put these on, I guess. I have to make them. But the problem with that was being, obviously I didn't have the blueprint for it because I obtained it through a thing, and I've never, like, I've just checked now to see if we had any. I don't think I did, but we do actually have some still suit boots, which would be better than the standard ones. And I do have Delirium there, so it still suits that. Micro fabric 20, I've got enough of that. Delirium ingots, okay, I think we've got enough to make them. So these I'll keep for a rainy day in case we ever do get the blueprint for them. But yeah, as you can see, they're fully worn out. My guy's currently got no shoes on, because you can't put them shoes on. I had to take them off in order to put the radiation suit on. So we currently don't have any shoes till I can make these ones I've just picked up now. So I should have that. I've got the aluminium back at the, well, I think I've got aluminium out there, but if I don't, I can always go in with arm film because we're surrounded by it. Yeah, so today we'll be out in the deep desert. Might go off and do some metal mining, because I could do with some of the top grade metal and load more of it. It's the one thing I definitely do not want to be buying on the market, because it's so easy to get. It's just like no excuse. The spice, on the other hand, that's painful. I did find out as well, it is a visual UI bug that we experienced last Friday when we were trying to farm the spice melange, or the spice sand that makes our spice melange. Apparently, it is a known bug, and it has been there since last Friday. So that was good to find that out, and it wasn't just me that experienced it, because I found other people had it as well. So not great for the game, but great to know that it wasn't just my issue. also the base. So I was up to early hours this morning, like early hours, because I wasn't happy with how I positioned the base when I did it live on the stream. Like I put it down with you guys, and obviously it took me 2 hours to do that. However, I spent another 6 hours beyond that, more researching and keep testing exactly the best way of using that blueprint. Because what I found is it just wasn't placing it right where I wanted it to do, and in the end I bit the bullet, and more than once actually made it on flat ground. I did it more than once because I did it the first time, and I thought if I just made it flat, that would solve the issue, but it didn't. So I will talk you through a bit, like one of the things I've found that actually help use blueprints better. When you're making a blueprint or making your base, you may need to take these into consideration if you're making them on a rocky outcrop like I do. Mainly because the rocky outcrop, essentially, obviously generally most of them won't be flat unless you make it very small, and the bigger you make it, essentially the more problems you'll have. One thing I found is if you just use the foundation blocks on the outside. So what I mean is I'll actually show you by taking this apart a little bit, and the place where I can get down and get back up. If you make the foundation so that the actual main part is hollow and just use a roof like this, essentially what happens is all these foundation blocks on the outside, they can grow to no matter how any length you need. So with my design relies on it being too thick at a minimum. That's because of these gates that I use as part of the design of my actual out base. So that means that these blocks need to be 2. Now, these blocks, as a foundation block, it can't go below the ground level. So it means that if you make it so that it's more than, say, like 1 or 2, and have 3, even 4, when you're placing these down, if you had it full like I was doing to start with, and I was filling all of this in because I just thought, well, it makes the base stronger in the sense of, like, if it was attacked, and if I did decide to move this type of base out into PvP zone, I want it to be like have some sort of like way that I can just reconstruct this, put this out into the PvP zone, and it can hold its own. Now there are other things that I've got ideas on about how to do that, and I found as well that the bigger the pentashield, the more HP it has. So essentially, like the roof panel that we have will have a huge amount of HP. That's because it's like massive. But what you can also do is, if you created what we've got and created a cube, you can actually get it so that the pentacubes will actually stay on the outside, so you can essentially protect your whole building if you were to put your building out and then put pentashields on every wall. Now it would obviously require a lot of energy, but what that would mean is that in order to then attack the base and successfully attack the base, they would have to find the smallest pentashield and start attacking that. But this, based on the size of that pentashield, depends on how much HP it would have and give you the most protection. Now this is obviously they can only attack it during a storm, or the 5-minute window that they have, 5 or 6 minutes. I think it's 6 minutes maybe. And during that window, they're about to attack it. So either way, it doesn't really matter whether this part is actually hollow or not. What it does mean though is, I think probably having it like this gives you something to work with, and then if you need to, you can always make this solid later, and put your like core elements and things down here, and probably have it 2 or 3 thick away from the walls, and have it, you know, as much. Hopefully you can put it on more flat around, and then utilize the full width, and you'll be able to like at least have 2, so you could have a panel like that above, and then have the blocks below that as well, which will give you just an extra layer of protection that the person would have to burn through. They'd obviously have to guess where you put it, although they probably might guess that you might put it towards the base center. But again, you know, you put it in a completely random place, they might. It's like, you know, the odds of them finding it. I suppose there are some odds that they might find it easier, and the middle would probably be an obvious place to go for. The middle of the core, because that's where you generally put things. You may be less likely to put them on the edge, so they might not go for the edge, but then they might go for the edge. It's like there's always like a second guess or a counter to the counter. However, as you've seen anyway with this, one thing I've found that having the blueprint with this initial start off allows me to now place the base down a lot faster. So it means that I don't get all the conflicts I was getting before with every time I'm trying to place it down, because like the central blocks were going into this ground because of obviously being uneven. It meant that you had to raise it to a certain level where everything was just like extremely high up, where this approach allows you to actually place it down at the level you probably want to lay it down, rather than having to extend it really far out the ground by adjusting the height. And also it stops any of the object collision issues that I was also experiencing as well. So yeah, a lot of trial and error last night. Firstly, I've like keep changing the design just a little bit, just to try and see whether it worked a bit better. Firstly, flattening it out and taking all the bottom blocks out, so that when it placed down, it was just on flat. And then trying this approach, and I found this one was the one that seemed to work the best. I was going to go another step further if this one didn't work, and I was just going to go with 4 outside structures, well, structural kind of like columns on each corner, and then I was going to use like thin walls on the outside that join them together. Again, because it's the foundation blocks that seem to be the issue when you're trying to place it. So if you have just thin walls, it kind of ignores walls, and it will just put walls into things, and it doesn't really bother. But where the foundation blocks, it seems to be a lot more finicky with. So you're aware yourself, if you're trying to do this. That's the way how I got around it. And as you can see at the moment, I've not messed around with it too much. I've just put it all together, and the only thing I have messed around with is I've changed this top layout. That's because of a few reasons. Firstly, I want to put the big spice compactor here when I can put it in, and it does, like, I had to test how to fit it in, and then got it to fit in, and then built the things around it. But now I know it fits like this, I'm going to be remaking the blueprint based off this building, and then build it back on flat again, which will allow me then to have a blueprint that should work going forward every week. But the idea of this is that it also has the water capture on these upper things up here, because what I found is it wasn't really producing much or any water. Well, when I put this back down here where we had it last week it was actually producing water well. This week it didn't produce any water overnight. At first I couldn't understand why, but then I remembered that the actual electricity generators over here will stop when you put something above it. I just got a feeling maybe last week somehow I managed to get it to work, but it shouldn't really. But as soon as I moved it with nothing above it, it started generating water really well again. So I decided to slightly change the design and decided to put them up here, and at least up here they're out of the way as well, so it creates a lot more space. And I also moved the safes up here as well, so I've just changed the design around a little bit. It does mean that we have less place for our ornithopters to land, mainly on this side, on the upper level, obviously, because well, they could come through this side and go underneath, but yeah, above is kind of like where they now are kind of designed to at least come into. And when we get our carrier should just about fit on this. When it is up here, it'll only come out here to obviously set up the base and then take everything back, although I probably will keep it out here, so when it is here, which will be the whole time that the bases are up each week, then the small ornithopter, I'll either land it here maybe or bring it through the window. Haven't really decided yet. And if I bring it through the window, it'll have to come through that window, which it might struggle to. So yeah, we'll explore that when it comes. Like, I can't do it this side because well, I can obviously at the moment, but when we get the big spice refinery thing, when that comes in, as you can see, it literally takes up all this space here. So yeah, it'll look quite cool actually, like this, but coming through the floor like that reminds me of like English bars in the UK where we have like a big object coming up through the floor and being a central point. This is kind of like, this will be our central point with the spice thing going through. So yeah, these are the design changes I've made to this, but it should make it better in future for when we build it. When I did do it off the blueprint as well, it only took me about half an hour to put it together, which is much faster. Of course, I come up with a bit of a method of doing that as well. So there's a few things that I think over like the next couple of weeks, as I keep doing it over and over again, that should be a lot faster. So, oh, actually, I was about to go out. Let's go do something, but I just need to go and make something, which is the whole reason why I went out to start with. We should research this. I don't think it. I think you can just use the normal gear fabricator. I think we need to use. Yeah, so we've got everything. I'm actually happy that I haven't forgot anything. I love machines. The armor value is pretty good actually. I wonder what the armor value is of those. Like, I've got some gloves there as well. I've just noticed. The stuff. It's aluminium, so it won't be as good. We won't make them. I think I do have some delirium gloves though, or blueprints back at the base. Maybe I'll do them later. For now though, we'll it's got one more repair in it. You know what I like? Efficiency, and This has just about one more. I think we're going to repair it just there though. I'm going to catch myself not repairing it now, but we're not going to go out and do the metal right now. We'll go and do a PV run. And then we'll go on. Actually, we'll do PV. Not going to make much difference. I was thinking of maybe whether we should do the metal run now before American time zone comes in, but it makes no difference. I've noticed UK time zone at the moment after work's pretty busy, and there's more and more gankers around at the moment. At least everyone complains about them. Another grind. Why? Oh, still got stuff in it, haven't I? That's empty it. I've got all the stuff. I've got fucking ammo. Totally filled the scout ornithopter with like all the materials to make delirium. The jasphite or whatever it's called. For some reason I thought that's the same thing and it's not. We've got plenty of that now, so if we do need to make delirium, which we do need to make some delirium, I need to make a second one of these, and for that I do need delirium. For that though I do need to put some aluminium into production, as that takes forever to process. While we're out, we'll put some of that on. Don't even have enough water. That'll probably take. Actually, it should tell you how long it's take. I think that's about 40 minutes. Oh, it's not. It's 23 minutes, so it's not too bad. Oh, it's not too bad. It is bad, but it's not as bad as I thought it was. This run takes about an hour to do, so. Going the whole time. Because to actually make the delirium, like that last part you do to process after doing the aluminium is actually really fast. Not that much at all really, but yeah, the aluminium part of the processing is one. I put the actual base down just over here, big flat area here, and I rebuilt it here essentially. Once I was happy with it, I made 10 copies of it actually. The reason for that being is, one thing I didn't realise as well, when you actually place it down, it actually consumes the blueprint. So it's not as if you create it and you can just keep reusing it as many times as you want. Oh. You use it once, that's it. It actually like consumes once you confirm the placement. Oh, literally right like that. I hadn't realised that, so I decided to make a load when I was back at the base. And then essentially once I created the base, because you can make as many copies as you want, it's just that you have to open all those copies of the base. And as far as I'm aware, there's no way of copying them. Like there might be, but I'm not aware of it. I will do a little bit more research to confirm that, but certainly from what I initially looked at, I couldn't find any way or any obvious thing that shows that you can make a copy of the actual blueprint. So if you're taking it and you base it off your base and you've got it ideally set up, you're best making as many copies as you can of it, or at least enough that means that you're not having to copy off the base that you've made. So effectively what you might find is you might customize it slightly each week, but if you have the main base like obviously the big blueprint of it that has the main foundation part, the part that you're definitely sure that you want each week, definitely, and then you can just add to it once you've got the main base. And that's effectively what I've done, is I just wanted something where I've got the main part of it the way I want it, and then I might have some alterations each week, but as long as I've got the main part of it, then it'll just save me all that time having to reconstruct certain parts of it, which is why I'm going to have to now change mine or reset my blueprints, because you can also, once you set them as well, you can actually, as long as you don't use them and consume them, you can actually, once you've made a copy of them, you can actually reset it and then make another copy of a different of it, of a new layout. So you just need to kind of like wipe it. Where I am is great for scrap. There's like not a huge amount of aluminium around. No different last week. quite a lot of basalt around here though. But I shouldn't need that. I've got excessively, and I think it was the fact that, not that we lost stuff from when we took it down, as I initially thought. I think it's just that my base was just, the actual foundations was just taking up too much of the resource, which is why we ran out of stuff. Because now I have excessively too much. Now that I've followed that foundation out, so that it's only around the main edges now, making it way easier when it comes to placing it down. And I think that's one of the other things when you're making a blueprint, is having that consideration for when you have to remake it. Like, I might make a video on exactly all of the I've found through my 20 plus attempts of modifications of it, and 3 complete wipes to get to where I am. I learned a lot from having to wipe it that many times and getting it so that it's now like pretty efficient. He says next week I'll probably cast, but right now I'm happy. The one thing you do need to do though, I found still though, is I still need to climb and find a vantage point to place it. That's one improvement that you can make, would be to have it so that you could zoom out and change the view so you can look down on it easily. Like how it is at the moment, it's just really quite awkward to try and place it down unless you're elevated above where it is to try and place it. I'm not sure how often that, certainly it's hard for me because I'm on the top of the hill, so that's the whole idea. Like the base is supposed to be at the highest point, so nothing that oversees it naturally. Obviously being in pieces, but yeah. Should be enough to definitely do while we're out. To be fair, I've probably got too much because I don't think I've got enough water to run all of what we've got. Considering, yeah, our water didn't top up overnight like it should have done. Oh well. The learning curve, like so many others. Wondering what I'm doing, I'm just going to move them. So the whole idea is that this is supposed to be the raw box, like of raw materials, while the other box is supposed to be stuff that's already been refined. just so I know then which box to go to. Like if I want to know where everything is, I can just see. Oh, yes, this is all the raw stuff I've got. This is all my. I'm really not bothered by components so much. If you wondered why I left the components in the other box, just. Yes, we got 133, so we put some on the market the other day, but they didn't sell. I've looked at the market today, and the market, it has one person selling them, but below 2,000. So I'm just going to wait for theirs to go in, and I'll put them up on the market when I've probably got a much bigger stack. And we'll just put them all on for 3,000 at that point. But just like it's become a bit more competitive now. But they still sell out. They do normally still sell fast. It's just that for whatever reason this time when I put them up they didn't sell. So I'm just gonna have to wait the long game. But we have got loads of Delirium up on sale, and they are still going for just under 4,000. So I've slightly lowered the price so that I'm the lowest seller of them, and I put a much bigger stack than anyone else has got on there as well. And when we get more from this run, we'll put more of those up. Obviously they are as good as selling the thermal cools as well, so, and they are really supposed to be the bonus, but at the moment they're actually the main thing I'm selling. But our money to rise, we're about 1.1 and a half almost, just over million Solari, so we're doing alright. I want to cut this in here rather lately. We'll do this. I don't think we can do what I'm thinking about is I did notice my suspender belt actually needs repairing. Whether I should repair it or shouldn't repair it, but I probably should. Don't really need it for the areas we're going to, but you never know if I don't have it repaired. Cool. That's the last repair for that. Probably should have repaired that, if I'm honest. Field's okay. Our back's okay. Can't we raise the next thing? So nice and comfy. Let's go. See no one. Let's see another one.
Shield on! Shields up! Shields up! Not leaving here alive! Eyes on enemy! Eyes on target!
We tend to be biased to fight each other's sides, so I can try and put them both under.
Got you! Hush! It'll all be over soon. Shield on!
If I run around and then together.
I'll got you! Got them! Got you! Found you! Here! I got you!
These. Oh, my stamina. You need stamina for the fucking skill. I don't know why. Here as well. I probably might need to restart them. Feel awkward.
Eyes on target!
That was it. We're gonna reset, yeah. Yeah, one thing I've noticed as well, you can use dodge when you use dodge. I've got a skill that allows it to go through me, which is very useful. Cheating? Okay, get away. Wow. Not cheating today.
Target found!
changed the what's down here because it usually, like last week at least, there were two people with guns, not knives. The only thing I struggle with on this is more than one person with guns.
Shield on! Found them! Shields up!
More cheaper.
The enemy found!
That should be the easy part. Just doing the fire. That will hit really hurt. He's got a he had one of those shotguns that penetrate through the shield, penetrating darts. Tell by the way he loaded the gun. Shotguns always are. There's the Gatling gun guy. That's pretty neat. Better than nothing. But not the best. clearing the main chest rooms. I have scanned all the way, like through that forest down the bottom, and there is nothing down there. I would have expected them to put something down there for the people that are curious. They haven't. This, as you can tell, is my first run that I've done, and you can tell that because the intel is still there, which you only get on the first time you go through, so it's not picked it up yet. For now. Fine. Oh yeah. I like that. I don't remember sometimes whether these ones have someone in or don't. Sometimes you do get like one person that's in them. I don't remember which one it is. But even though it took us like a while to get past the first part, the second room wasn't too bad, and then it was just a loot pickup. There's one thing. I don't think we've hit the end of anymore. We're going that way anyway. So make a slight detour. It's just around the corner from where the base is. At least I can't remember putting the aluminium on. I'm pretty sure I didn't. Exactly what happens when you mine on cliffs, just let you fall to your death almost. So, but we'll put that on. I only got like the knowing because I only one. I could drop some water in, but we won't. We'll just wait for the passive water to make itself. I won't be doing the whole of this, like, we'll be doing everything bar the boss room. We might hate it in this one. Unless someone's already cleared it. Unlikely. No one comes this side. Especially at this point in the week. Usually just us. There is everyone. I don't think this is just being emptied because, well, I might have come through it and just cleared it to get the respawn, but none of the boxes have been touched. Oh, this is what happened the other day. See? Just phased through it. It's like the same the other day. He was trying to dodge out the way and he couldn't because he dodged into the wall. Didn't go anywhere. Doesn't know when to do that though. I know you can do it as well, but it's so weird. It should open, but it doesn't. It's like it's open, but it's not open. I don't know what we did. Did we pick up on this band or not? Picked up that one. Doesn't open now. Body opens. Pick this one. That allows us to go down here. I still can't see any enemies. So this place has been cleared out. Go see whether or not the boss room's got people in it. Yeah. You go in and out to get all the stuff. spawns, traps us in it until we get it. That was nice. I had to kill anything. So someone has been here very recently. We've managed to get a run in almost for free and get all the loot. I can't wait until I get the light heavy gear. That's what I'm planning to get. I was going to get the heavy suit, but there's too much penalties on it for me. One of those penalties being it'll slow the character down and being able to move as easy. It will give you like dart resistance, but like I think I like want to give enough resistance better than the stuff. The main thing I prefer is the blade section. I hate it when there's more than one person with a blade chasing you around, and you know if they get one shot on you, pretty much take you down. But there's two of them, then they're literally taking you down and killing you pretty fast. They catch you, and then it's trying to get them to come together close enough. If you're trying to like hoist them, so you can AoE stun them. Losing my that one. Which one was the one in this thing? Let's just double check. Did the map up? Not the map, we've got another map that tells me where all the resources should be. Refer to that. So the next one should be in cell 5. Let's reset the map but not fogged it, which is not what I was expecting. I was expecting to fog it. Pretty sure it's here, reset station. Pretty sure they don't read the reset stations. Well, they haven't the other two, so I don't think they will move them. According to my info map, they're still in the same squares, so the others being in exactly the same places in those squares that they were last week. I can pretty much say that these will all be the same place as well, even if they have disappeared off the map. here, is it? When we're ready. That one. Where is that rock? Is it not? Really happening with it. The next set of rocks over there. If it's these sets of rocks, it'll be on the right hand side. There you go. It's just there. And it feels familiar, but doesn't. Maybe it's in that set of like rock outcrops that it's the first on the left. Testing station. That's not too bad from 2. That's pretty good. That's 30 per testing station so far. There is someone down here, so I'm expecting this place to be pretty clear, unless the person's just tried to run without clearing. Which is possible, because these are either just spawned, or they're certainly there. They'll take point switch, so. By the skin of my teeth. Maybe that other person died. None of these boxes look touched either. Missing a box. I feel like I've not picked up a loot box. This is the room where you gotta kill 3 of them in, there's nothing here. This is the room like IR for me, just to avoid. Like you don't get anything from this room. Bad. Oh.
Shield on.
Nothing. No box or anything. I actually tell a lie, you can get water if you want water. I think there's a water point, maybe. I got no days, they're gone. And zoomed out in case a knife comes past and I didn't notice it. Stick you around the corner so your body doesn't try to join. My loot's up here and then that's it. 7. That's alright. Certainly better than 1 or 2. I'll take 7 any day. And 5 in the other one. And that one. The 3 down, if we went on the same numbers before, we should be around 80. So if we're close to that, we're still on track for a nice haul. Anything less than that, we're going more towards the average. That person has definitely died. Probably didn't have the spawn point yet, so we've left the probably try and get back here with another on a copter or whatever. We are literally 30 from that one. We're on a good roll so far. Next one is just beyond that crash site. On the left hand side this time. I've watched a video of a person that's managed to get up to that, but you just phase through it, even if you do manage to get up to it. Somehow they managed to get that high. They just literally went through it as if it didn't exist. Please remember this is the 4th one. Keep trying to remember which one this one is. Mainly because I do need to do batteries, but you always need to do it by run by yourself and not on this type of run. And I can never remember which one it is, but now I actually have remembered it is the 4th one. So I'll try and remember that in the future. So when I need to do that later, I'll come back out here just to do battery run. Slow attacking, get my beating attack. about it that these didn't go together.
Shields up.
Who are you?
He's coming this way and then until I shot at him and he's running back. Doing what I do. Treat to fight another day. So he's not fighting another day. He just died. I guess so good for the batteries around here. I might pick up the batteries and then just leave the Onacobs outside. It's a bit risky, but it'll save me having to do a run later. Literally putting up on batteries. Down. Powerful. I can drop this crap that I always drop. Try and bypass them. Bypass them. Try and drop them again. You got so much space and we have like tons of the damn things. You can break them down, but even the breaking down and like you turn them into, you can turn one of those components into plant fibers, but you can't the other one. The other one turns it into scrap, and well, we can get scrap very easily, too easily in some ways. Just yeah, come back then. Let's come back this way anyway. Whether I aggroed in near the knife earlier. Do that. Around. There we go. A customary jump to say thank you. Saved my bacon. I just realised now why it's not working like I was expecting. in some of the comments. Did you sniff too many Sharpies as a kid? If you're not aware of what a Sharpie is, it's a permanent pen, but it obviously has what I'd say is like not toxic, but certainly will make you high if you sniff it. Type chemical that's part of the ink. And way back when I was really young, people used to sniff them to try and get high. Hence that term. No, nice little fancy ship. Put a lot of batteries in here. They weigh the most. Oh, I wanted one of these. The delirium still suit. We can make one of them when we get back. Assuming I've got enough spiced delirium dust with me. I don't think I've actually got enough left after making the other stuff. Emperor's Wing Mark 5, they're good. We've got nice blueprints on this one. And we've got good delirium. We're doing good on the thermal coolers. The only improvement we could have got, which I'm not complaining about because we've got fairly good drops, but you can get drops for the vehicles which are near undamaged. Not completely undamaged, but near undamaged. And if you get them, they are really good because by the time you repair them fully up again, they're like 80, like 70 to 80, sometimes a little bit more health that you can get them up to once you repair them, and that's really good. Like, I've only seen that around here, but it is a pot luck whether you get them or not. But really good because then they've pretty much got full health and it's cost you nothing to have them. So this is the one I think I was getting confused with the last lot back there. I thought it was on the first lot to rocks. It is on this one. Just up and over there. Should be on that first rock on the left. Oh, it's there. I think I've done that before. I don't know why I thought, oh, just have a quick look down there. This is usually the easiest one until James goes to nerf. Jinxes it. fact there's a buggy there, I'm expecting this part's always empty. That's nice. Sticks and a small box. Plus 5. And there was one. That buggy's still there. So that means that they aren't in there. Either that or they're lost. There's our final reset station. feeling this will be populated. Two of them. That went smoother than normal. We're dodging. Yeah, another gunny. Another gunner somewhere.
Enemy found! Shields up!
Demon needed this side first, so I'll stick with the norm. The knifey.
Shields up!
You want aim then? Like, why will you not aim? Who's down? And the faster you try and go for that second attack, the easier it is. Okay, just like a good chunk of my health. Wow. Darts. What I mean, darts in this place. It's like my stealth suit just doesn't do anything against darts. Other than almost lets the dart just continue on its normal trajectory and path. To get rid of these things. Always come back. Always get more and more and more. We dump them out and they just get replaced by more. You've already taken out 2 of them. And I remember rightly there's only 3 or 4, so there might be 1 more. See if this is spawned this time or despawned. Yes, it's here. So often I come down here and it's like, it's not there. Or the one up here isn't there. This one's not there. Actually, is that? No. I thought that might be a suspender spell that was pretty healthy, but it's not. It's pretty beaten up. Oh, that's what I haven't done. Maybe that wouldn't have had if I didn't do it. Go on. $143. Oh wow, we could easily get 7 in this stream. Could be on track for our highest haul. We've only got 149 as the highest I've done on the run so far. Single run, obviously. Not if you'll come out now. There's also a Gatling gun guy in there as well. And if we aggroed them, didn't go back there and didn't aggro them. Oh, I did it. I see ya. To me. I haven't seen the knife person. They might have changed the number of things around because I've noticed on a few of the places there were more knifey people in some areas than normal. Looks like they might have moved this around a bit as well. Oh, we've got one of the blueprints. We definitely want to be picking that up. Let me drop. Brass. The suspender belt. This is Mark II or 4 Mark II. They hear this is the box, and sometimes again it's here sometimes, and sometimes it's not. Also makes me wonder sometimes whether there's other boxes in here that I just, because they're not always here, whether or not I just assumed there's no other boxes in here, but I don't think that is it. Right, so what did we get up to? What was the number? 154. That's a new record for a complete run through. So that with our 134 gives us just under 300. 280 something. Hang on exactly how many, but it's 3, 2, 3, 7. 387. Whereabouts? Let's see how many is on the market. If you didn't realise that as well, yeah, if you're actually carrying fuel cells on you, you can fuel in the air. You can transfer your goods in the air. I've never actually noticed the refueling in the air, so I don't know if that's new, but the transferring in the air I was fully aware of. Which I found that's a pretty cool thing. I don't know how realistic it is. I'm not sure you'd have the time to refuel when you're in the air or do the other stuff when you're in the air in real life, but hey, it's a game. Escapism. Bit faster than flying back. All the way at least. I don't know what that person's done. Like they must be hardcoding because they've got hardcoding badges on the whatever that thing is they've got there, but yeah, they've got like a tower for some reason. I don't know what's the tower. Like at first I thought it might be just they put one up so that when they place down their blueprint, obviously that's what I use. I use something similar, just not on a pole. But I used a raised elevation obviously to put it down. First I thought it was something to do with that, but then it's been there since they built it and it's still there. Well, at least actually look at that one. So this is one of the ones that where I've picked it up, and this is what you can get with the vehicles as well. You can sometimes fix them up, and they're like this, where they've still got a good portion of health, but it's that red part, the part where they're permanently damaged, is just really small. So when you go to repair it, it'll repair, and it'll have about 80, sometimes just under 90 health, which is amazing because it means that you've got then virtually something that's not cost you much to have, but if you were to build it, it would cost you a lot of materials. But that's the thing, that this is the reason why you run those first two. So for us, because we do it in reverse, because ours, what I've rarely considered 5 and 6. Is it 5 and 6? No, 4 and 5. Those ones for us. Actually, no, there is 5 and 6. 5 and 6, the ones closest to us, but everyone else considers the others 1 and 2. That being that they're in actually square 2 and 3. However, those two stations have the chance of dropping these, and this is what you most want: as many of these as you can, especially when you're farming the Spiceman Islands before you get the crawler. Assuming you're gonna do the crawler. I will never do the crawler because I'm not planning to do group stuff, and I'm not confident enough to do it as a solo. Although I have seen one crazy person do it, but they were really good, to be fair. So, yeah, for us, we'll just be wanting these best efficiency, and we've got 2 of them. So we must have got 1 from each of the stations. So that was a really, really amazing run, if I'm honest. I actually do have a spare one as well back at the base, so that means I've got 3 spares now. We've got this one, which has not been repaired yet. Still got a bit of health, good health, but enough to do like a medium, I'd say. This, even though it's like, the only thing I have a reservation with that is that this is a responsive belt, and I've got used to using the full suspender belt now. These ones, I'd prefer if it was that and that, but you can't be choosy, I guess, with these things. I suppose worth keeping this. It'll probably be worthless on the market. We'll take it with us just in case. But I've got a feeling it'll be worthless. Every time I get a gun, I think, oh, that might sell well. I get to the market, they're either not on sale because basically no one wants to buy them, or if they are being sold, they're just like not worth the effort of trying to sell it and list it. How have I still got those? Keep dropping them. I've got a magnet to them damn things. The rest of the stuff I'm just going to shred for the material. The rares little drop. It's not too bad. It's 52. T-there days. Fair, a little bit higher than that. 56. Also spend about 59. That's not too bad. Where's our belt? Might keep this one. Ooh, ditch that one. We'll keep that one. Actually, we'll ditch both of these and just go with that. Actually, no. We'll ditch all of these because they're all not the decent one. Decent one. But they're still good. Like, I'd repair these because these are go down to about 48, which gives you about 50% of the health back. Better than not having anything. But they don't last very long. before it feels like you're repairing them every 2 seconds. And they give up when you need them most. The most annoying thing. Could have that twice thing. Enough to put delirium into production. Only 13. Use a lot of water. Always make a habit of just double checking to make sure that it was what I was meant to drop. I'll put that in the tank. See if we can sell that as well. Even though it's being used, I haven't used it, but it's being used. I really want to make this. But we need 40 and I don't have enough water. That we will sell. Liter. I'm gonna drop these, I think. I was able to sell that last time, so I will have a go at selling that. Actually, no, I won't. I was only able to for 10,000. They do go quite cheap. Bed that we get rid of. No, no. I'm just gonna despawn them. You can't shred them or do anything with them. I need to take that steak. We need to go and get the thermal coolers and the delirium. Let's keep 17 back. So we can make the suit. But the rest will take to market to sell. 286. thermal probably. Oh, don't have enough then. I have to go get some more from the base. We have got loads at the base. I only bought out what I thought was enough to do what I initially was going to make, and I thought maybe enough to do anything else I might need to do later on, but clearly I wasn't expecting to use 50. I also tend to use the taxi service as well, because it's free from here, and I've used it quite a bit actually, because it literally is just down below us. Not that that was the reason why I chose that place, but that's actually turned out to be pretty good. Means if I run out of fuel, I can literally just jump down there, go back to the base and get some more fuel cells. Assuming I don't need to make it here, which I can quite easily make it here now. But when I was first starting, I didn't. It was hard days getting things started when you're trying to run 2 bases as a solo. I'm just gonna check. So according to my streaming information, I get loads of warnings that the stream is not running very efficiently. Surprisingly though, it actually looks alright. Mute myself so I don't hear myself speak. It's quite like, I don't mind my own voice and I've got used to it, but it's still a bit off-putting when you hear yourself speak after you spoke. It's like an echo. But the warnings I've been getting on the streaming software is that it's dropping loads of frames and stuff. But I'm watching it now live and it's looks smooth. Don't know what's going on about. Maybe it's just now and again. We'll see what's on the market, and then put our goods up. And I think then we'll call it a day. we are like 20 minutes over. Well, I did start a little bit late, so give you a little bit back. Valerian dust. That person's put on a load at way more than I even put it on before. Oh, did I put it on? I must have put it on wrong. I meant to put it on for 3. Oh, God. Like, oh, that person's put up loads. And I've just realised that's me. We'll cancel that. Oh, yes, we will. I actually meant to undercut them. And I put 4 instead of 3. Should be 3,950. Oh. Just over 500,000 by itself, but which would be nice, assuming it sells. This, when I seen before, someone was selling a load that's gone. Nice, so we can sell that for 3,000 a piece. Which is almost. We do B2 just to. With the sales tax, that's just says 900, 1,000 salary. So to go with what we've got there at the moment, let's have that. So that would be us. It's 2.5 million salary. Can we buy any spice yet? Cheap.
How much time you got left in the sand? Just over a standard year.
Oh, it's not on the market.
This is my 3rd deployment.
Into some of them first come on the market and hope. Like we want value the market to become a bit more flooded, because the more that's on the market there, the more it drives the price down. But we do know it goes down to 9, well, pretty much 10,000. So that's our buy at 10,000. We could, like, once we get a larger refinery, we could buy the raw stuff. I've never seen any raw though. Get the residue. And to make half the residue. Spice sand. Like, I can't see anyone selling spice sand because it takes a lot of volume to make very little. And it just wouldn't make sense to bring it back to market to sell it. But someone might do it if they don't have good refining skills. well, not skills, well, yeah, they just won't do it unless they were forced into it and they really didn't want to take the hit of not having a big refinery. Well, there are groups as well who will just let others use their big refinery and have a drop box that allows other people to drop stuff in. Anyway, we'll cut it there. Thank you very much for today. If you do love the content, then do consider subscribing or following us, depending on what platform you're on. Until tomorrow, we'll be back on the stream again at 7 o'clock tomorrow, and then again 8 o'clock on Friday. So, good luck with the rest of your day, and have a great evening. Thank you very much, and good night.